Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Deluxe Draganoid and Nillious figures from the Bakugan Battle Planet series. These are a bit different than the usual items in the line, as they're not really as much for the game. I mean, you can put them there if you want, but they're more just like regular figures and not, you know, the actual core transforming ones, whether it's the small scale ones or like the big, larger scale Draganoid one I've shown you before, and they're, you know, they're just regular figures, basically, for a long-winded explanation. However, they do both include a shiny exclusive holofoil card, which is neat, always great to get that. It's kind of funny because they, as they are, remind me of just kind of the old Yu-Gi-Oh figures that used to come out for figures of the monsters, but really had nothing to do with the game. But I don't recall any of those, or at least very few of them, ever coming with actual cards. There is also a third one in this line, which is Trox, which for whatever reason I couldn't find. I didn't check every place in my state, but I went to a few, and for whatever reason they only had these two. I guess someone just really likes dinosaurs. But anyway, this will be a pretty quick review. There's not a whole lot to go over. They're basically just solidly detailed figures. They have little bits of articulation, like you can move their arms around, you can move their legs. In the case of Nillious, you can move his wings. You can't really move his wings. I mean, you could bend them, but that's not really going to stay. Like, oh, look at that. Articulation. And then you can move his head side to side, so they're pretty limited. I mean, I wasn't expecting like a high-end figure arts level articulation or anything like that, but it would have been nice to have like his elbows bend a little bit. I always hate when they have the fixed Frankenstein arms, or even his knees, but maybe more so the elbows. And then like his heads can move, which we'll get to in a second, but only his neck can move, so I don't know, it's just kind of one of those half-measure bits. I wasn't expecting anything amazing, but maybe something a little bit more. Kind of like the Ben 10 figures, which are a really good example of, even on like more monstrous-looking aliens, they managed to actually give them decent articulation so that you can get some poses out of it, even if it's, you know, just as small as they can get. But the details on these are pretty nice. I think the paint's pretty well done. It's not like the, oh my god, the best thing I've ever seen, but in terms of just like a display piece or just sitting there, it looks pretty cool. It represents it well. The paint is nice and vibrant. They got most the details. There's really nothing huge sticking out that I feel like, oh, they really missed this or left something blank in the back, because no one's going to notice if they leave something blank in the back. And you know, it's a decent sized scale, decent looking figure. Same thing goes for Nillious, who I like a little bit better in terms of the figure, just because I think it looks a little bit more cool with the black and purple color scheme. But he has a few little extra bits of articulation, like he can actually move his wings, which I guess he has a little bit of a different style of wings. This one for Draganoid would have been more like one of those hinge ones, I guess, would have made more sense for his, but still you get that bonus. And I appreciate that on his you can move both the head and the neck, which you can give him a little bit more personality, which I think just makes him an overall better figure. And it's kind of what I'm talking about with little bits of articulation, just giving it more personality. And his is pretty basic. It's pretty hard to mess up the paint job on this guy, because it's just two primary colors, except for like, you know, the eye details and stuff like that. But other than that, it's pretty hard to mess up. Draganoid has a little bit more going on. But like him, I think they did a really good job making the colors look vibrant. It looks accurate, nothing really too huge missing. Looks pretty cool overall. And that's pretty much all there is to say about these. There's not really a big long review in store for these guys. They're just kind of two cool, larger scale figures. I think if you really like the monsters, or these characters, I can really recommend them for that. But not like in a, oh my god, you absolutely need these if you love these designs, they're the best thing ever. They're just kind of decent figures. Like, they look pretty good, but they could have had a little bit more articulation to make them feel a little bit more dynamic. Like, they could have just been a notch up, but they're overall decent figures, so I think if you're a huge fan, you'll enjoy them, but I wish they were just a little bit better, but they're good for what they are. Anyway, that's about it for this one, guys. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get notifications for all my videos. Until next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.